Shabbat Shalom, family. Welcome back again to another episode here on Cody Speaks. Thank you for joining me. Today I have two very, very important people joining us today. They're coming forward to give an update on Grandmaster J condition. Also an update on the Not Fucking Around Coalition, and also known as NFAC. They're here to give us some updates and to let us know what's going on in the world of NFAC, and also how Grandmaster J is doing. More importantly, how Grandmaster J is doing. That's what we're waiting to find out after he, underwent open heart surgery and whatnot. And so they have some good news for us to share with us as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to Corporal Kickass. Sit back and, oh, by the way, you all hit the like button, share with the people, let them know that Corporal Kickass and Commander Bishop is in the house. Thank you so much in advance, Corporal. Corporal, welcome. Commander Bishop, welcome. Commander Bishop, you got the mic.
Shalom, peace and blessings, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. First, want to thank you for inviting us on this platform. It's a pleasure, and we'll get down to the business. As reported last weekend and previously before, Supreme Commander Grandmaster J did have open heart surgery, did come through it successfully. You all can refer back to the GoFundMe page, as well as the briefing done on the AKA show last Sunday for the full details, so I won't repeat that. But it was not a pre-existing condition, and it was something that showed up after he went into their custody, April of 2023, and just kind of kept getting worse through the summer, and it was potentially a life-ending condition, as I reported last week. He did get the surgery. The surgery was successful, and he is recovering. You all keep in mind that with a surgery like this, the recovery is a total recovery in terms of having to learn how to eat again, having to learn how to walk again. He is talking. He is still himself as much as he can be, and he's going to get through this better than ever. But he is recovering right now. It's about a 3-month recovery process right now.
Okay, so Bishop, tell us a little bit about his condition. Is he in a rehab recovering, or is he still in the prison?
He is still in the prison, and that's the surprising thing. Even surprising to the people in the prison. We would have thought he would have went to a medical facility like Lexington or a place like that. There's a medical facility there, but he went back to the infirmary in the prison. What he did say is he is being treated with kid gloves, and he's getting the red carpet treatment. But they sent him back to the facility to be treated.
And so, is he trying to get moved, or they're just saying? Was there any explanation as to why he was sent there instead of rehab?
No explanation that we have right now. What we're concentrating on is his condition in all aspects qualifies for the compassionate release per the new sentencing guidelines that came out in 2023. So we're that thing is being worked on as we speak, a compassionate release, and that comes from his legal team and gets submitted to the judge that sentenced him.
And you said that the attorneys are working on that now. In the meantime, what can the general public do to help in that effort, or if anything?
Letters. Yeah, there's always something. Like a lot of people wrote letters to the judge, letters to the Department of Justice, letters to the president. You can find all those directions on justiceforgmj.com. But this is something that everybody all the way up to the top knows about. and they're hearing about from everybody, thanks to everybody's actions. So again, going back, requesting the pardon, putting into your recent letters that, hey, this man had a surgery that would grant him a compassionate release per your own rules. So so release him. And we can certainly, if you reach out to us, we can certainly help people with that language.
Okay, and so I went to the website, and it does appear that there's some instructions there on
Yes.
Justice for GMJ on how to
Yes.
go about helping him. And so, ladies, that's justiceforgmj.com is where you can go to actually sign this. Is that petition still active that I see here? Are we still asking people to sign a petition?
I believe we are.
Okay, so here you can click here and sign a petition. I want to go back to the home page, which is what I saw earlier today, and on there it had a series of information where you can write, where you can. I'm going to go to it now. I know I saw it here somewhere. It's like if you want to write him.
Yeah, right there. Right there is if I'm seeing it correctly, there's a tab where you can go through and go to the sample letters.
This is it right here. Write letters to the Court of Appeals. Is that it?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I think that's it right there.
All righty. Here we go. So you can send a letter requesting a commuted sentence, right? And
Yes.
And you said that there's a template, a template here.
Yeah, I believe there's a template on there.
If you go to, it's at the top. It's at the top when it says downloadable content. You can go over to that tab and click that tab, and it'll take you to another page where you can get a template for the letter writing campaign. If you scroll down, it says request a commuted sentence. There's a template right there. And you can download that template, and it's on a Word doc, so you can download that template, fill in all your pertinent information, and send that in.
Okay, so we're now looking at that now. Downloadable content. Here it is. Join BHH letter writing campaign to request a commuted sentence. Okay, correct. Get template, get flyer. Oh, that's beautiful. I have not seen this before. Great. I love that. Okay.
Yeah, so all the like we always say, all the information is right on that page. So whatever information you may hear coming from somewhere else, if it's not on this page, it's not correct.
Got you. Understood. So that's you can print the PDF, how to send commissary funds. Oh, this is awesome.
Yes. So all the information is right there. You can get it right there. Other shows that we often speak with, they give out the same information. So you can go to those shows. You can go to Justice for GMJ on the IG. On IG, there's the Operation Bring 'Em Home campaign page on IG. All that the information is all the same. You can get it from anywhere. So you can access the information. You just gotta go look for it a little bit.
And so that Operation Bring 'Em Home is the same that the one that I see on YouTube as well?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, great.
YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, yes.
I'm subscribed to that page. I don't know if I did that today or if I've done that in the past, but great. So what about, does he still need funds? Is he still doing a GoFundMe? Should we still contribute?
Absolutely.
Yes, because in
Sorry, Bishop, you cut out. I can't hear you.
Are preparing for a fight to
Bishop,
the
Bishop, you cut out.
Can you hear me now?
Bishop,
how about
you cut
now?
Out. Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay. We do things in triplicate. It may seem redundant, but you've got to do them that way until you get to the path that works. And we still are planning on going to the Supreme Court absent of a compassionate release or a pardon. we feel very strongly the compassionate release or pardon will come first, but we still have to prepare to go to the Supreme Court. So there's still legal fees that still need to be taken care of, and that's done through the GoFundMe. And you can still, if you wish, to contribute to his commissary, which provide even more so now, because he's as much as they're taking care of him, he needs all the help he can get in there, because it's not like any of us can go visit him right now.
Correct.
So there's no visitation while he's I guess in that state as far as recovering.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, we haven't. We
there-
haven't been invited back.
Okay, I can understand that he does need to rest. I know several people that have had open heart surgery, and it is not a joke. It's no joke.
Correct.
So yeah, so our prayers are still with Grandmaster Jay for a speedy recovery, but everybody must be patient because dangers of infection setting in and things of that nature are very, very, important. So we have to be patient with them.
Yeah.
So
this is one thing. This is one thing we want to stress is that a lot of people are like, "Well, where's Jay? Why is he not speaking?" We still have to be mindful of potential complications from the surgery. He's not that far removed from said surgery, so they still have to make sure that there's no, like you said, infections or anything like that crazy is going to happen, and make sure he has no relapses or anything like that. So all that has to be maintained. So that's why A, there's no visitation, and B, he hasn't really spoken. But when he does speak, trust me, you guys will know that it's Jay and it's him, and he'll speak. But right now, he's not capable of doing so at this moment.
all right. So recently I seen that K Money shared a video. Speaking of, and while we're speaking of Grandmaster Jay speaking, there are several videos floating around YouTube stating that Grandmaster Jay was working with Blk Media, and I see that I noticed that I seen one of the videos and I was like, oh no, that's not Jay.
Exactly.
So
when you hear his voice, if you've listened to Jay for any period of time, that's not Jay's voice. That was an AI generated voice. Was not Jay. They even had Snoop Dogg claiming to be second in command at NFAC, which I find hilarious considering I'm the second in command at NFAC. But that's it. That page, I believe, is no longer in existence on YouTube.
all right.
So yeah, they've been stricken for impersonating someone else. I personally struck them for copyright infringement because they used my logo against my will without my permission, because my logo is copyrighted. So yeah, that page should be gone, and that like I said, 99% of that information that came off that page was false information. The only thing correct that came off that page was his name. And that was it.
It seems like whoever these people are between Watchdog and Blk Media, it seems like they have a fascination with our community. And if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can correct me, and even I see K Money in the chat. Shalom to you, sister. You guys, do you all think that those are melanated people, or do you think those are Caucasian persuasions?
I think
they're Caucasian, but
yeah, I think it could be one of two. I think it could be one of each. I think it could either be Caucasian, and if it is, I think it is the federal government that's doing that, and in particular the FBI. But there's no proof of that as of yet. There are legal people actually working on freedom of information stuff, so we're going to find out about that. But if not, if it is our own people, there's a couple people that we believe that it could be. One of them being, I treat this person like Voldemort. I don't even mention his name because I don't want to give him any power in any way, shape, or form. So, but yeah, it could easily be one person who is super fascinated with GMJ and is mad because GMJ won't talk to him or give him the time of day. So, whatever. He's been that way as long as Jay's been on the scene. He's been that way. So,
well, and the other thing to think about too is every time the NFAC does something, or some news comes out or some positivity comes out, this thing would pop back up.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to kind of just point something out that kind of occurred to me today. The page was taken down because of the efforts of K Money and others. I want to make that clear, and according to and also what Commander Corporal Kickass said. But there's something else too. That page started attacking certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and it attacked the AKA show.
Yeah.
Just like it attacked the K Money show.
Mm-hmm.
And all of our shows are very spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to think that after we went on last Sunday, the show, 4 or 5 days after that, it was taken down because of the attacks it was doing. But this fight isn't just carnal; it's spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
and we gotta keep remembering that. But
So I'm sorry, you said that they attacked the AKA show as well.
Yes, they
yeah,
did.
one of the last videos.
Right after we went on that show, they started attacking that show. They started attacking it a little racially, well, a lot racially as well. I mean, racial tropes and everything. So the way they started attacking, their attacks changed to more, like I said, racial tropes than anything else as well. And
was that done?
You can't.
I'm sorry. Was that, when you say attacking, was that done in the form of putting out a video on their platform, or was that them doing those attacks in the chat during the show?
No, they put out racially motivated videos.
Huh, I missed that. Okay. Yeah. So some of us do work, and we
Yes. Well,
oh my goodness.
Well, I can tell you that our technology didn't miss it. It was recorded. It was archived, and it's gonna and we're not gonna let this go. We're not gonna and it's in 5 different locations, and it won't be deleted, and it'll get dealt with legally. Particularly if it's who we think it is, it'll get dealt with legally. And and as with everything, we have the advantage of looking back on history. This is the same thing that was done during the late 1960s, early 1970s, turning people against each other, whispering in people's ear, saying this person was this when they weren't. Exactly.
Divide and conquer.
And we know what it looks like now, so it's captured very easily, and people communicate a lot more than they did back then. So. But yeah, we were very happy to see it come down on Friday morning, and I'm a big guy. I can my feelings don't get hurt, but obviously, but at the same time, no one wants to see their name denigrated.
That's right.
And especially what a filthy person you must be to denigrate somebody who can't defend themselves in the prison. That's what it was doing. Never mind somebody who had just gotten open heart surgery, you still kept doing it. They'll we were glad to see it happen, and we just thank everybody who did what they needed to do, particularly K Money, who was bearing the brunt of a lot of those attacks. And we're pretty sure if it was still up after we came off this program, it would have attacked you.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I was attacked by Watchdog in defense of Otho Wallace. So it rolls off my skin. I don't care. But you did mention something. You said that it may be you said the FBI, right? So if it is by chance,
some aspect of the federal government,
Yes. Okay. I'm COINTELPRO in full effect. So if it is, why do you think that they're trying to target Jay now? They got what they wanted. He's behind bars.
Yeah, but the possibility of Jay getting out becomes stronger and stronger every day, and their fear, that's been their fear forever, is that an enigmatic black man is going to rise and stir the pot, and make the people unite. Remember what Jay did in the summer of 2020? He united black people. When was the last time you saw black people united on that scale? It's been a long time, 40, 50 years, right?
Right.
So that's not something they want to see. They don't want to see people, black people especially, getting unified. And I mean, look at what's going on now. They even have a bill that they want to put on the House floor where they say, hey, you can't unify in your community and create a community group that's aimed to protect your community. Basically, it's like a militia act. So they're basically saying that you can't have a militia. That's a bill they want to put on the floor. And that happened, I believe, last week, Bishop, or this week.
Yeah. And I think Cody, you actually you actually brought that up to talk about that Senate bill.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, they put it down. I wonder why they did that.
Yeah, they don't want people unifying at all, because who are we going to unify against? We're going to unify against the racist power structure. At least in the form of black people, will definitely unify against that. They don't want poor white people unifying, because then they'll realize that poor white people and poor black people have a lot more in common than they have that are different.
You're right. And then the striking thing about this all is that all of a sudden now they want to do something about private militias.
Yeah.
Because the Boogaloo Boys, the Proud Boys, they were allowed to exist for all these years. They didn't just pop up in 2020. They've been around, right? And so then you have. So
what are you going to do about the KKK? Because that, in essence, is a private militia. So are you going to do something about the KKK as well?
Well, they have the FBI have the KKK on their enemy combatants list or whatever, along with the BIE, the Black Identity Extremists. That would be us. Correct. Right? Yeah. So but I know, we all know in history that the way they administer law against some folks is not like how they administer law against us. So they're definitely showing up with this bill, Senate Bill 3589. They're definitely shoring up the loopholes so that you can't get around it, and to ensure that you are prosecuted this time if you do it. You know what I mean? Correct. So we have to be very, 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 particular on how we do these things, which means we're probably going to have to start moving behind the scenes, stand behind the scenes, having codes, code words indicating that we're meeting or whatever. But we're going to have to get off of these platforms totally, because they're monitoring us, and they know if we come on here and say we're going to do this X, Y, and Z, they know that, and they're going to do everything within their power to try to cause some confusion and to stop it. So we have to start moving smarter. So like I said, so call your congressman. I don't know if you guys still vote and all that stuff, but even if you don't vote, you still have a representative that represents you in the Congress. Call that congressman and tell them to vote no on Senate Bill 3589.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the militia was put into the Constitution for a particular reason, and whatever you think about it, that's your constitutional right. And anybody who sees it should be frightened and should question whoever put it up.
Exactly. Why would you want to suppress the people's power to rise up against you? Yeah.
Well.
Obviously, they have something planned. Something is going to go down. Now, watch this. Y'all consider this point. You know that we're on the brinks of World War III, right? Yeah. And there are a lot of people that are not exactly pleased with the way the United States is handling the conflict over in the Middle East. Correct. And so that it could be them gearing up to stop some of their folks from rising up against the tyranny that's about to go down once we get involved in this third World War. And the possibility of the war happening on the United States territory is very likely. And we haven't seen a war on these grounds since the Civil War.
Correct.
So they definitely want to make sure that their citizens, so-called citizens, do not rise up against them. And I believe that's the intention behind this Senate Bill 3589.
Correct. Exactly. And like you said, call your congressman, the Congress switchboard, call them. Their number is 202-224-3121. Ask for your congressman, ask for your state representative, and let them know you want them to vote no on that bill if it's going to come to the floor. Okay,
Right,
that's
right, and
definitely something we need to do.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I seen someone said in the chat that Watchdog and Black Media is the same person. Is that true? How do y'all know that?
It very well could be. That I what's that white dude's name? I can't remember his name.
American
But,
Doofus guy?
yeah, that dude. It could be that guy.
You think
That,
so?
It definitely could be.
Could anything's possible.
Yeah. And looking at the quality of the videos too, that kind of tells you a little bit about the person and their capabilities. That's why we were leaning more to the FBI because of the higher quality of the videos. But it could definitely be American Doofus.
I don't think it's American Doofus. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, number one, just like you said, his videos are very high quality, and I'm talking particularly about Watchdog. The things that he was able to do with AI, and this just didn't start just recently. He's been doing this since I don't know when, like since when we first started with Arthur Wallace's legal fundraisers. He's been on the attack. I mean, he attacked K Money. He was attacking K Money, and he was attacking Darren, I believe, that Boss Talk. And then he just started attacking Othel, and just was like livid, like he was just avid. Like I was like, why is he so obsessed with Othel, with seeing Arthur Wallace go to the death chamber? Like he was really adamant that he should get the death penalty. And I'm like, I could not understand such hatred towards probably somebody he never even met him. You know what I mean? So it was very interesting. What else y'all got for me?
Those people have a lot of hatred on their hearts, so you can't never question why they have so much hatred. It's just the way they are, unfortunately.
Yeah, to go back to something you had said in the piggyback was something Commander Kickass said. Why are they doing this? A lot of these people know what some of us refuse to admit, that the key to the future is with us and what we're doing as a people. That's why everybody watches us. Even if they don't like us, they watch us. I think people need to start taking that a lot seriously and knowing who they are. And that's what this all goes back to. And that's one of the biggest reasons they did to Grandmaster Jay, is what they did, because he was telling people who they were. And he was giving you irrefutable proof to who you were and what the next steps of the story was.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this wasn't about firearms or demanding justice for people. I mean, it was about that, but the biggest part of it, what it was he was uniting people, and they're a lot more afraid of our unity than they are our rage.
That's true.
They're a lot more afraid of that. That's why when you're together, that's why they have these rules that in Chicago, if there's 10 of you together or 5 of you together, break it up. And that's something that goes all the way back to the Black Codes. Or if you're walking if you're walking with a couple of your friends and they see you, they get all afraid. And you're like, what's wrong with you guys? You're showing unity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And isn't that sad? Because I think that we were just talking about that on the podcast we just recorded, that they are afraid of us uniting because they are afraid that we're going to do to them what they've done to us. Which is farthest from the truth. We're not trying to seek any revenge. We just want to live. Can we just live?
Yeah, we just want to live and leave us alone. That's it. Leave us alone.
Right.
Let us do our thing. Leave us alone. And don't try to put barriers in our way. Once you start putting things in our way, then now we have to address you. So we don't want you putting barriers in our way. Let us live and let us, live like real free men and women. And it's bad because even on these platforms, they shadow ban so much. We spoke, Bishop and I spoke with a young brother, what was that, Wednesday night? He's about
Yes.
30 years old. And he had no idea about half the stuff we were talking about because he had never heard it. And he was like, I just stopped talking because I was listening. I was amazed about some of the things y'all was saying because he had never heard any of this. And I'm like, well, where have you been since 2020? You know, this stuff has been out there. And he had never heard it. He's like, yeah, I don't get that information to come across my feed, and no, I don't see that on Instagram or on TikTok or on YouTube. And it's like, it's there. Obviously, these platforms are trying to keep that information suppressed as much as they can because they don't want it getting out.
That's right. That's right. And I think that they try to disparage anyone that's trying to put the information out, such as a K Money or TNT with Mike and Jazz, or even myself, right?
Yeah.
So they even went after Watchdog, even went after Y2 Kenyon of all people. I'm like, what in the world? Why are they so wanting to stop what we're doing? We're over here minding our own business, such as Ozone was just in his car minding his own business. And there's rumors out there, and some people really believe that Ozone was targeted because of how he stepped up dealing with that case in Georgia when the young man, they said, hung himself, and they demanded justice, right? So I think that their hell-bent intent is to stop us, like you say, from uniting because they are afraid, and that fear would make you do anything crazy. So unfortunately, that's where we are.
Well,
Bishop,
go ahead.
Sister Cody, can you hear me? Yeah.
We hear you.
Yes.
You know, well, you know, you think about why would they knock the nose off the Sphinx and not the face, the rest of it?
Because the nose is where the power
Why
is.
not blow up the whole
thing?
If you didn't like it, the nose is showing who it was.
Yes, and the nose was where the power was, and they don't want you to see that power. They would say, "Oh, that's an African nose. That's not a Greek nose or a European nose. That's a African nose that's there." Even written on the walls, when the ancient Egyptians looked at themselves and they described themselves and they painted themselves on the wall, they painted themselves in very, very, very dark hues, and they described themselves as African because, well, they weren't Africans, called Africans, but they were of that area of Kemet, that area. They don't describe themselves as Greek. Greek didn't come until later, until the Ptolemaic period.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So it's about whitewashing and also continuing the oppression, so that you don't rise up, so that they can maintain power. And so that's what it is. So they just want us to be in a constant state of being a worker bee, while they do all of their advancing.
And a consumer. They want you to be a worker bee and a consumer. That's all they want from you.
That's right. That's right. So
and it goes across all aspects of society. Try being a black business owner in a field that they don't want you in.
Correct.
Try being a black business owner that you surpass a certain amount. They come for you then too.
Yeah.
You know, they come for you then too. And you wonder, well, why isn't there any black car manufacturers? We've been here forever. I mean, we've been in this country since before the beginning. Why isn't there a black airplane manufacturer?
You're competing for government. You're competing for government contracts. Then you're competing for real money. Then if you're an airplane manufacturer, you're competing for government contracts. If you're an auto manufacturer, same thing. If you're a black tech, you'll be competing for that big money stuff. And if your tech is better than theirs, then they'll most likely have to accept your tech. But they don't want that because they don't want to say, "Oh, this black man helped me do this," or "This black woman helped me do this." You know, they don't want that.
They'll reel you in. They'll reel you in, steal your invention, and then silence you. That's how they operate.
So that's why you have to make sure you get everything copyrighted and all that kind of stuff. Because if not, they're going to steal your stuff. That's just the way they operate. They're going to steal it.
But the thing is, in order to get patents, you have to go through them. You have to go through them to get a patent. And what the government does is that if you apply for a patent, What they do is hold you giving you a patent to see if they want it, if it's some type of technology or invention that they can use, and if the government can use it, they'll just pay you they'll pay you a little bit. They use it, and when they perfect your when they perfect your invention, they'll give they'll give you permission to go ahead and patent it. But by then, they got their whole setup based on your invention, and it's nothing you can do about it because they're controlling the patents. That's crazy.
And if it's something they really want, they'll come knock on your door. If it's something they really want, they'll come knock on your door. The NSA or the CIA will come knock on your door and say, "Hey, we need to have a conversation about this patent that you submitted."
Right. That's how they operate. They're like the bullies, right? They're actually the bullies, and they will strong arm you. And there's that's what I say. A lot of people, I can't believe that a lot of all these Black millionaires that they're not speaking up for all these just causes, right? Well, the government has them by the balls too. We want to say, the entertainment industry is ruled by the small hats. Well, the small hats are the ones that's running the government. So they're all the same. It's all the same.
The government the government and the entertainment industry have been in cahoots since World War II. World War II, the United States government utilized the entertainment industry, the prop making section, propaganda. They utilized the entertainment industry for a lot of things during World War II. This is all information you can Google. So they've been in bed with each other for the longest time. So to think that those people who are, like you said, millionaires and billionaires are not, stuck because they can't really speak out because their purse strings are being held by a higher power.
That's right. That's right.
You know the part that amazes me the most still to this day, and our brother Supreme Commander Grandmaster Jay said it in such an eloquent way. Where were you when they were giving out spines?
Yeah.
When he was talking about these people. What amazes me amongst the people that we were just discussing, particularly in our entertainment industry, is where's your courage? Where's your integrity? Where's your backbone?
It's the money.
Okay.
That's something that apparently isn't as prevalent as I thought it was. I thought there were a lot more tougher people in the world, and and I guess there's not. But I mean, as they say, it'll only be a remnant.
It's the money.
And beginning to and understanding that is probably the hardest thing about this whole struggle. Is a lot of people, and I think that's just life. It's only going to be a few percent of the people who are going to charge through the door. Most people are going to want somebody to do it for them, and those of us who are doing it, we accept that. That's fine, and take the risk. But hey, you don't have to be visible. Do something.
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading about Red Fox, Eartha Kitt, Harry Belafonte, the things they would do for the civil rights movement, and they didn't even sometimes make it a secret. They just did it because it was the right thing to do. I think Bill Cosby's
Bill Cosby did a lot of stuff behind the scenes with the civil rights movement because he was one of those blacks that was pushed to the forefront in the entertainment industry. So he couldn't openly do everything he wanted to do, but financially he supported a lot during the civil rights movement.
Right. So, do we have any other fake channels out there that's trying to imitate Grandmaster Jay or trying to say that they're the real NFAC? Should we be on the lookout for any other channels?
As of this moment, I would say no, but this is what I'll tell you. If you do see them, if you see something pop up, please forward the link to myself or Commander Bishop. I'm on IG. I'm not hard to find. Or if you have my email address, forward it to me. And we will make sure we get on it and get the information out to all the appropriate people, and we'll let them know that this is a fake channel, and we'll we'll get the same thing done that we had that other channel happen to that other channel, because that's basically misinformation that we don't want out there. We can't have out there. And like Bishop said, all these fake videos are being captured. And trust me, Supreme Commander will see these videos once he comes out, because I personally want to see his reaction when he sees these videos. I want to hear what he has to say when he sees these videos, because he's not going to be happy, but he's going to be in full Supreme Commander mode when he gets out and he gets a chance to watch these videos. And I'm quite sure he'll want to do something about it.
One thing I noticed when I was analyzing that page is that he doesn't get that many views, except for particular videos where I think that he paid for views, because I could just tell by the number of likes he got as opposed to the number of views he had. When you have over 1,000 views, you should have more than 4 likes. You follow what I'm saying? So so I think that shout out to K Money for going ahead and everybody else who reported the channel for getting him taken down. Hopefully he doesn't start another page and start the bull crap all over again. I hope that you all are very successful in your quest to do legal damage towards them. I pray that you guys are pursuing that.
Yes.
Great. That's awesome, Zach. So I live in reality, and everybody say, Okoti, you're a little bit too blunt sometimes, but hey, I don't like to sugarcoat anything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ask this question.
Right.
We're praying for Grandmaster Jay to make a speedy recovery. We know that he's been convicted of a felony regarding surrounding guns, right? And so it's not probable that he can come back in a capacity to do a standing formation again with NFAC. How is that reality affecting the NFAC members, or will we ever see a formation from NFAC again, or are we moving towards something else?
No, you'll definitely see a formation from NFAC again, and that's part of the pardon process that we're that his legal team is exploring. Is if he gets a pardon, and I say if because you're still dealing with Joe Biden here, so that's one of the factors you got to take into consideration there. So if he can get the pardon, his pardon will reinstate all of his rights, meaning his 2A rights as well. So we're hoping that happens as well, is getting that pardon. That way he can conduct a standing formation. If that doesn't happen, you will still see a formation coming from the U.S. and from the NFAC. All right, there will still be one without Jay. Well, Jay will not be a part of the formation because his legal terms would prevent him from being there. But there will definitely be another standing formation. But we're not even thinking about that right now. We're trying to move forward with him getting a pardon and him reinstating his rights.
Okay, so what is the future of? So what? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bishop.
And furthermore, for that, after everything that's happened and everything that goes on, imagine the day when Grandmaster Jay comes out. Imagine the day when he comes out as Dr. John Fitzgerald Johnson, which he wasn't before he went in there.
Right. I mean, yeah. So
he won't. Grandmaster Jay will be on another level when he comes out. That just because even if he and we're speculating a little bit, but even if he was prohibited from holding a firearm, let's just say, doesn't mean he wouldn't be speaking somewhere, doesn't mean he wouldn't be inspiring somebody. I think when you look at all these things, people's roles change as they go through what they go through. You're like he always used to teach us, you're always constantly going to be growing. This thing they did to him to put him where he was at, they only made him stronger, and they only made him more formidable. Those of us who have visited with him and who have spoken with him through this whole process, if you thought he was intense and you thought he was focused indirect before. Imagine.
Yeah,
What
I
he's going to be
imagine he
like when
has a lot.
you see
Um,
him next when he comes out of this, and what he.
yeah, most definitely. I imagine he's gonna have a lot to say. And I salute you guys, you brothers, for standing by his side and being that strength for him on the outside. And you mentioned, there will be another 2A formation. And I just want to know, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know, what would be the purpose of doing another formation?
Well, that's the thing. We don't want to have to do a formation unless we absolutely have to. So, um, we've done what, five formations. We really don't want to have to do another one because that means that there's more things that we have to address out there. Right now we're looking at things that are going on in the country, and one disturbing place that we're looking at is Mississippi. Mississippi is a very disturbing place. There's a lot of crazy things happening there, on a racial level, and we don't want to have to address Mississippi, but it looks like that might be a possibility.
I certainly wish that you all would have been in Mississippi, in Jackson, Mississippi, when Comrade Ramsey Eunice was down there trying to
Yeah.
get the people to mobilize and do the Republic of Jackson, because now the people who live in Jackson, Mississippi are under the judgeship of a self-appointed court. Like
Yes.
when those judges are supposed to be elected by the people, Jackson, Mississippi is majority black, and now they have a majority white court ruling over them,
And like
deciding.
I said on your program before, when we call and you say we don't need your help at this time, then we're going to fall back. So if you need our help, you need our help. So don't tell us that you
Yeah,
don't need our help at the time when you really do. And that's part of the problem. Or don't be inaccessible and we can't get in touch with you, or you don't reach out to us. Then there becomes a communication. With no communication, there's no action. So assure up the communication. That way we can have the action. And when somebody reaches out from the NFAC, understand that we're here to help people and communities. And if you don't want our help at the time, that's fine. We've had plenty of times that we've called people to address situations, and they said, "Oh well, at this time we don't feel like we need your help, so we're going to hold off on that for a moment." Okay, that's fine, and we'll sit back and wait for them to contact us. We're not going to keep harassing you if you don't want the help.
right. So there is power in numbers. And speaking of power in numbers, I understand that NFAC has Grandmaster Jay. I know I actually seen the video when Grandmaster Jay said that they had been to the UN and was able to successfully form a nation of people, meaning the UBKN, right? The UBKN. But just recently, in October, I believe it was, the Afro-descendant nation, along with a whole bunch of other organizations, got together and say, "Hey, we're the Afro-descendant nation," and it was under the charter of the UN. So they have a charter. You all have a charter. My question to you all, and then if you can't answer this without the permission of Grandmaster, I understand. But my question to you all is this: if the mission is for us to receive reparations and the right to self-determination, would you all forego the title UBKN and go under Afro-descendant nation in order for all of us to get the reparations?
I'm not going to answer that. What I will say is that would be a solely a Supreme Commander decision. That's what I figured. That would not be my decision. It would not be anybody in the current chain of command's decision. That will be solely a Supreme Commander's decision. Do I have my views and opinion on it? Absolutely.
Yes.
I have my own views and opinion on it. But because I'm a member of this organization and I took an oath, just like everybody else who stood in those formations, I took an oath. And obviously, unlike other people, I stick to my oath. I will follow my oath until the grave, because that's the kind of person I am. So I will say that yes, as far as this organization is concerned, that will have to come from Supreme.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I just thought I'd take a stab at it, because I am deadly concerned that we are gonna F around and miss the opportunity to achieve that right of self-determination and get the reparations because we're stuck on titles.
Well,
right?
that's one of the reasons.
That's
one of the reasons why Jay is locked up is because he went to the UN. At that time that Jay went to the UN, he had got farther than anybody else had gotten in getting the right to self-determination. So
but I don't know about that, but I do know that he did go to the UN and he had that document. Yes, I have the document. Okay.
Because think about what the next step was. Think about what the next step was.
The 2A formation. The 2A formation. But then at the same time, the plebiscite vote, the plebiscite vote has to take place as well. So I guess he was planning on doing at the 2A formation having that vote. Yes. And what I'm saying is, if somebody has some noise in the background, I think that's Bishop. I think he got in the car. There you go, that's Bishop. Like I said, my only concern is that right now Afro-Descendant Nation is trying to get individuals to sign up and do that plebiscite vote. You guys don't have to tell me that you're doing it, and nobody else have to know. But I think that it's very important that everybody in the sound of my voice vote in that plebiscite vote as well, because they're not saying that. They're not saying that because you're with another group, another organization, that you cannot come under this umbrella, because the way that they have it typed out in the paperwork they received from the UN is that includes anyone who was a victim of slavery, and not only slavery, Jim Crow laws, and also racial discrimination. So that includes all of us, regardless to what organization you're with. So they're wanting all organizations to come under the umbrella of Afro-Descendant Nation, and you can maintain your own status with your own organization. It's just that they want everybody to vote in this election, and I think that we should. Absolutely. I think that we should. So that's that part. I'm glad to know that you feel my sentiment and where I'm coming from, because it's power in numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, this goal of liberation is not meant to be an exclusive club of who gets there. It just matters that we get there. And if because Grandmaster Jay was put away and he sparked a fire that helped lead it to get there, it got there. This isn't mutually exclusive to him or anybody else for that matter. If somebody's got a plan and somebody's got something that's going to happen, that's going to work, let's go for it. But we got to do it together.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. We have to do this together. It can't be just a one-man show or one organization show. Afro-Descendant Nation is already working in conjunction with 72 different organizations, and all these organizations consist of people who are interested in getting reparations. So, and exercising the right to self-determination. So, if you all will, and I want to, step on anybody's toes, but I'm going to put a telephone number up here on the screen so that you guys can go ahead and take the number down, choose to text the word reparations if you want to. If you don't want to, I am just a messenger. Don't shoot me. I'm going to put that information out there.
Absolutely. Put the information out there, and I'm glad you did.
All you have to do is text reparation. I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen. You're going to text reparations to that number. And once you do that, they're going to send you a survey of questions to answer, yes or no, right? And then you just hit submit. And what's this doing? This is letting them know how to draft our official papers for the plebiscite vote. What that plebiscite vote is going to look like, and all of the details, in that plebiscite vote, when it's going to be like the official. So basically, they want to get your input on how do you feel about reparations. Who do you think should get reparations? Do you think that you even owe reparations? Do you think that you should get the reparations and then leave and go to Africa? Or do you think that you should get the reparations and say we're going to claim 5 states, such as what the Republic of New Africa has already outlined? See, they have a government, they have a provisional government, as well as the Afro-descendant nation has a provisional government. And I'm sure that if Grandmaster Jay had not been incarcerated, he was going to establish a provisional government as well.
Yes.
And so that, we have all of these individual groups that's wanting to achieve the same thing. I think that we can do it underneath this banner right here by just starting here. And if it doesn't work, at least we can say that we tried. Nothing beats a failure but a try. And then we will defy the powers that be, because they want to keep us divided. They want to keep us divided even on the reparations issue. We got foundational Black Americans saying that no, we're not African, so we don't want to be called African, like, or Afro or whatever. I'm like, can you just like say you're Afro-descendant nation just so we get the reparations, and then after we get them, you can go back to being a foundational Black American, you know what I mean? Can we just pretend for a minute, right?
Yes.
So don't be. I want us to leave our egos, check our egos at the phone when you go and text reparations for everybody, and then let everybody do what they need to do as far as how they're gonna separate or stay together. I say we stay together, but some people say I can't rock with this one, I can't rock with that one. So but as for the sake of everybody getting some monies, so that we can improve our lives for our families and be self-determined, I think that we should just go ahead and come together under one banner, and then we go our separate ways afterwards.
Correct.
I won't even be mad at you, because I'm gonna be doing my thing with my shit. If you give me reparations to the tune of $1 million, guess what? I'm gonna form my own nation. You did what I'm talking about? I'll form a whole little community. I'll go buy up a city. You know what I'm saying? That part. So what else you guys want to talk about while we got y'all on the line?
That's all I really have today is that I'm just want to thank you for allowing us the opportunity to speak about the NFAC and things that are coming up. Just like I said before, for all those who want to hear GMJ speak and want to hear him say something, just understand he's going through his rehab right now, and that's a hard rehab. It's a lengthy rehab, and just let him get better and strong enough, because I believe was he still in a wheelchair when you spoke with him, Bishop?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, he was learning to walk again.
Yeah, he had to learn even to walk again. So it's rough on the body. So let his body heal so he can come back stronger than ever. That's
Yeah, I can tell you that every successive time everybody's spoken to him, you can hear him getting stronger and stronger, and I'll state kind of the obvious too is these people's worst nightmare is that something happens to him. Oh, yeah. And not because of anything we're gonna do, but because of
those inmates.
The people he has gained the respect from in the facility, those facilities across the federal system might feel about it. He if you think he was well respected and loved, he has brought a lot of hope to a lot of people behind those walls.
Yes.
Because for essence, he wasn't distracted by anything else. He was teaching at least 2 or 3 classes a week in there, standing room only. And it wasn't just it was across the spectrum what he was doing. So that's why I say what they did to him, they just made him more like Obi-Wan says, if you strike me down, you're just going to make me more powerful.
Exactly.
That's pretty much what happened. And from visiting him, I was able to witness it. Just the interactions I saw with the other inmates in the visitors room and the interaction with the guards, they've only made him more stronger. Now, would anybody have wanted to go through what he's gone through? No, nobody's wanted to go through that. But the Most High picked the one that could go through it. I don't know anybody else who could have gone through what he went through.
And between me and Corporal, we know a lot of tough SOBs. We know a lot of tough guys. I don't know anybody who could have gone, and I would think even two of us. But I couldn't think of anybody who could have gone through that I know personally, or I know, maybe less than 5 in the country, and that's just being real. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. They did everything they could to break him, and they've only made him stronger.
And remember, he always said, "I wish I could reach those on the other side of the wall." Well,
yes.
The Most High gave him a chance to reach those on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys have some supporters in the chat that's been rooting you all on. So you probably know those familiar faces. But what are you gonna say, Bishop? What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, what is the United States prison population? Well over 1 million, right? Isn't it like 2.1, something like that?
Right.
Or closing in on 4 million? Well, however many of those in the federal system or even in the state system are getting the benefit from him being in there, even if it's just tangentially.
Well, guess what? We know the majority of the prisoners, of people that are housed as prisoners right now, are melanated people such as us. So I'm sure he's been Grandmaster Jay and reaching his people and changing their minds. And yes, that's definitely impactful. Like, yeah, they better be very, very careful and handle him with white gloves. Give him white glove service for sure.
Because if anything were to happen to him, if he were to slip on a banana peel, that's on them. Anything, and they know it. And they realized that as soon as this surgery, this whole scenario came up, and I look forward to seeing everybody's response when they hear the stories of what actually happened while this all went on.
Yeah.
And the federal government thinking that they were, they kind of outsmarted themselves in a way. It hurt all of us, and we were all pained. All of us were, in one way or another. But at the end of the day, his glory was being shown. He took the imperfect and did his perfect will, the Most High. And that's what we saw come out of this.
Well, we give all praises to the Most High, y'all. Yes, we do. So if there's anyone in the chat that have some questions for Corporal, Kick-Ass, and Commander Bishop, just go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and I'll bring it to the attention. But of course, we have our usual participants and our usual supporters in the house. Of course, we have K Money in the house, and she wants to say that now he's reaching Grandmaster Jay is now reaching those inmates in the jails where they are. Who else we have? We have D. Marie in the house. Thank you for coming through. Any questions for the panel?
I know I saw a question about what is a plebiscite vote, but I believe it was already answered in the chat.
Yeah, that's the answer there.
Okay.
And basically what it is that, like I said, when you text reparations to that number, they're gonna start asking you a series of questions, and they're gonna pose how that's gonna help them form the actual vote, right? Like like when you go to vote for the president, you have a list of agendas or a list of what do you call it, initiatives or amendments or whatever that you vote on. That's what that plebiscite vote is going to look like. So it's the change to say that, hey, yeah, we want reparations. Yes, I want reparations. Yes, I deserve reparations. I think that even the Native Americans and we just definitely basically dealing with the people who are here on these shores, right? We're not talking about all of us who were scattered to the four corners of the earth, thus said the Most High, right? We're talking about mainly for people in the Americas, right? So plebiscite vote, we are the electorate, and we're coming together on one public question, and that is, do we want to get reparations? Period. So easy. All right. So Angela Green is in the house. Salute to you, my sister. And she says, in fact, for life. All right. I'm sure a lot of us feel that way. And K Money said that Grandmaster Jay is a global leader, right?
That's true.
And then Nathaniel, is that Nathaniel? Salute, my brother. Thank you for coming through. He says we need all to be on one accord. That's right. Amos 3:3. Yes, we need to be on one accord. I'm looking forward to the day that we can all be on one accord. I really am, because I am so sick and tired of the division. It's very draining, and it does not do anything good for my spirit.
Well, you know, it's hard, especially, you know, that's one of my biggest complaints about our people is that the division. Because even when you look at other communities, you know, when they have a central issue that's bothering them, no matter what their differences are within their community, they come together on that. Whether it's those who are of the Jewish faith, when they get together on an issue and they want to address something, they address it as a unit. Same with the Asian community, the Latino community, even the LGBT community. When they want to address the issue, they address it as a community. They don't do it individually. And I think too many of us want to do things individually, or we're too concerned with who's leading instead of where we're going.
Right.
You know?
Right. And you know, in order for you to be a good, effective leader, you have to know how to follow.
Exactly.
You have to know how to follow. And so that's why I totally understood what NFAC was doing. I knew for a fact that NFAC was a coalition of a lot of different organizations coming together.
Correct.
And Grandmaster Jay was put there to be the spokesperson for everyone.
Yes.
Just as we have the United States Congress, and then we have the president, and he's there to be, he's not a soldier, he's just there to be the spokesperson for the so-called American people. And that's what Grandmaster Jay was, and he delivered his message quite effectively. So effectively to the point where they had to go back and do the J. Edgar Hoover thing. If we're going to ever have a Messiah, it's going to be one that we're going to give them. And so if they didn't give us Grandmaster Jay, then he has to be taken out. So that's what we're working with.
That's a huge issue when you have those the black bourgeoisie, if you will. They say, oh well, we didn't say he could be our spokesperson, so then we're not going to listen to what he has to say or listen to his messages or follow along his path. But you know, like you said, we need everyone, even the black bourgeoisie. We need them to get on code as well, because a lot of them are living off of, oh, this is my job, so this makes me what I am, or this is how much money I make, or how much money I got in my 401k. But you still black,
right? And you know, people like people like Oprah Winfrey found out, right?
Like you still black.
So, you still black. No matter how much money you have or what kind of status you have, you're still black, and we all still fighting for the same thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So we need their help as well, and that's one of the things I want to make sure they understand is we do need your help as well. And you can't just say, oh well, I'm at this status, so you guys don't have the same concerns that I have. Oh yes, we do. We black, right? That's the main concern, that we're black and we're not treated fairly in this country. That's the main concern.
Roger that. So I know that I spoke with you all last year, and you all said that you were now recruiting for NFAC. Yes. How's the recruiting going?
Recruiting is coming along well. We got a lot of new people who are. It amazes me that we have people that are just hearing now about NFAC. That's what I'm realizing, that we've been suppressed so much, that there's still people who are just realizing that, oh, there's a group of black people who are doing this. You guys did what? You guys march where with guns? Really? So it's amazing that we're seeing that. So I can report that there are a lot of people who are interested in joining. And if you want to join NFAC, you know, you can go send an email to joinnfac@proton.me, and you will get a response, yes, and someone will get in touch with you, and we'd love to have you, as long as you are of the correct mind and you're willing to move on one accord. If you're not willing to move on one accord and you want to do your own vigilante stuff, then feel free to do that on your own time in your own way. But we move on one accord here.
Roger that. So, K Money, I'm gonna say I don't know, but I'm saying the worst that they can do is tell you no. So from your Canadian phone, go ahead and text text reparations to that number, and the worst that they can say is say you're not eligible, right? Don't cost you nothing, my sister. Yeah. Oh, okay. Salute to Spiritual Rising. She's in the house. Spiritual Rising says that she loves you, commanders.
Shalom.
Thank
sister,
you for
shalom.
Thank you for coming through, man. It's been a pleasure, you guys. I do appreciate you guys remembering me. I know that we had said that you were welcome to come back anytime with updates, and I do appreciate you keeping me abreast of what's going on. I love you all with the love of Yahuwah. You know, I say that all the time, and I really truly mean that. I really truly mean that. So this is supposed to be like a family atmosphere, and so that's what we want to always continue to keep it as such. We have to stick together and don't let them win. Every time we go against another brother or another sister, they're winning. They're winning. It is a time to separate. The most high will separate the wheat from the chaff, right?
Yes, exactly.
The wheat from the tares. He's gonna do the separating. What he wants you all to do, or wants us to do, is stay united, and he's gonna pluck them out one by one. They all fall off. One by one, they all fall off.
But what does Jay always tell us? There's a reason the number was only 144,000, because everybody's not meant to go.
No,
there's some people we're gonna have to leave behind just because they won't get with the program and move on one accord. And I'm all for that. If you're not going to move with us, that's fine. You don't have to move with us, but move to the side and don't try to prevent us from moving either.
Yeah, step out of the way. Don't be a hindrance, right? Don't be a stumbling block. Don't be a stumbling block. Right. So yeah. You know, the scripture says 2/3 of us ain't gonna make it. It's only 1/3 of us that's left here on this earth that's righteous. And so what I would encourage everyone to do is to continue to pray for our brother that his strength is returned to him in full capacity, and that he is commuted and he does receive a pardon, and that we all can come together to realize that we need to be set apart from these people. Most High says, separate yourself from these people, join together. Okay, he says, gather yourselves together, old nation not desired. Old nation not desired. We're the only group of people in the whole wide world that we're hated, and we still haven't figured out why they hate us. But you know what I'm saying? I want to say they hate us because they hate us because I always say they hate us because they ain't us. Because they ain't the chosen people, okay? They hate us because they ain't us. But we have to know that. We have to feel that. And we have to say, no, if you do this to my brother or my sister, you done it to me, and I'm coming for you.
Well, you know, I'm a big supporter of Black business. And there's a Black business called Actively Black. And I have a lot of their athletic apparel. And one of the things that's printed on their active apparel is our greatness is in our DNA.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is.
And that's why they hate us. That's why they hate us, because our greatness is in our DNA. They feel less than when they get around us. Just being in our presence, they feel weak. They feel small. They feel like, oh, this is a more powerful, more stronger being than I am, than I could ever be. And that's why they hate us, because they know that our greatness is buried within our DNA. And that's why they try to suppress us.
And so Falcon says that if you're scared, stay on the porch.
Stay on the porch.
I say if you're scared, go to church. You know, that's what they're scared for. So they're in the church. The real ones is out in the street handling their business.
Yep.
Yeah. I like what Sister Angela Green said. No, under the porch and out of our way.
Yes, under the porch and out of the way. That's better. Yes.
Yes, under the porch. Yeah, I mean, so we got to keep on pushing, family. I just love the fact that you guys are staying loyal to a cause. I just can't do the flaky people. is stay loyal to a cause, and it will come to pass. He never said it was going to be easy.
Nope.
It's a thing that's called great tribulations. I know y'all
Matter
know
of fact,
about
he said
that,
it.
right?
He said it was going to be hard.
Right.
He said it was
You
going to
know,
be hard.
He said the time of Jacob's trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for the elect's sake,
Mm-hmm.
the time will be shortened. So all we have to do is endure to the end.
Yep.
Okay, so endure to the end, my people. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in.
And we love you too.
Corporal Kickass, you want to have the last word?
No, I'm just gonna repeat something. Make sure that you all stay on code and you keep the faith. You know, Supreme will be out soon. He will be stronger than ever. We're here to do a job, and our job is the liberation of our people and the security of our people. So let's ensure that we do everything that we can within our power to do that. All right. And until we get our own nation, we have to do things within the side of the law, of course. But until we get our own nation, we have to work within these laws and do what we have to do. But our ultimate goal is to liberate our people and secure our people.
Yeah, I can definitely say that's right on point. Right on point. And what I would like to see more of is me receiving private Zoom links to take part in some actual movement to see liberation or see us helping our people in the community. A private Zoom link, let me know. Let me be a part of that conversation, because we do have to stick together, and we all have to put our talents into this mission. One body, right? And we all have talents to bring to the table.
I almost forgot something. I just saw Sister Crystal pulled up in the chat. Supreme did put out a reading list for all of us to read. So, make sure we get in there and we get those books and get that knowledge in, because he's going to be on his teaching thing once he gets out. And I believe Sister Crystal has a book on there as well. So let's support her as well. Bishop, did you get the book already?
Yes. Yeah.
You did get the book? Okay. Yeah.
With those books. In fact, I was reading one this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, so is that reading list on the Justice for GMJ website, or where can you get that reading list?
I don't know if it's on. Is it on the website or is it on the IG page?
I think it's on both, and it's also on K Money's page as well.
Could you send Sister Cody a copy of that?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Email her a copy of that list. That way she'll have it as well.
That sounds great. That's great. So you guys, if there's nothing else, then
nope, that's all.
That's all. You guys have been great. Thank you so much, like I said, for remembering me and giving me an opportunity to host a live and let you guys express and give us these updates. And don't be a stranger. You got my number, you got the DM, and got the email, so you have all points of contact. And I am one that's willing to put in the work as much as I can. I ain't gonna tell you I'm gonna go and pick up a gun and walk out there and do all the miles y'all be doing, but I'll be here. I'll do the admin stuff for y'all. I'm good with administration. I'm a kind of behind the desk kind of girl. You know what I mean? So that's what's up. That's what's up. Absolutely. So you guys, thank you so much for coming in. Gerald Butler, absolutely. I see you, Gerald Butler. And Gerald Butler, I've been wanting to ask you this for the longest time, and you could just go ahead and put it in the chat, brother. Do I know you from somewhere? Are you from New Orleans? Because there was a Gerald Butler that I graduated with, and I just want to know if you were one and the same. Like, for real, that's crazy. And that would be so awesome if you were one and the same. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but yeah. Anyways, that part I just saw his name. Okay, so that was Gerald Butler. We had Sister Mary Leatherman in the house. Oh, he said nope. Okay, so good. I ain't gonna. Okay, cool. That. Thank you for answering that question. Yeah. So, guys, thank y'all once again.
Absolutely, no problem. Anytime you need us, feel free to contact myself or Bishop, and we'll hop on with you whenever you want.
Oh, that sounds great. Now I'm gonna keep my eye on Senate Bill 3592 Do not forget to contact your senator and tell him to vote no for Senate Bill 3592. That's trying to take away your right to form a well-organized militia. A well-organized militia, as the Second Amendment states. Also, if you're in Florida, if you live in Florida, call your senator and tell him to vote no to Senate Bill 1092. That is removing your right to self-defense when dealing with cops that's acting out of acting in an illegal manner. Correct. You have a right to self-defense according to the Constitution. You have a right to stand your ground, right?
I believe that was the Supreme Court case that went. I think there was a case that went to the Supreme Court, and they said yes, you do have the right to self-defense against a police officer that is using unnecessary force or violating your constitutional rights. So I don't know why they put that out there, because it's going to fail, because it's going to hit the federal level, and it's going to fail at the federal level. But make sure make sure you do vote that down. Yeah, call your senator if you live in Florida, because this is a Florida bill. Call your senator if you live in Florida and tell him to vote no to Senate Bill 1092, because if it passes, then it's probably going to catch on like wildfire, and other states are going to follow suit, and we don't want that to happen. Because we do have some rogue cops out here, and they hell bent. They actually, some of them join the police department so they can. Well, that was in response to brother. That was in response to brother Othel Wallace, though. That's why that bill came out. Absolutely right. That the name of the bill is the Jason Rayner Act. Jason Rayner is the police. Yes. Jason Rayner is the police officer that lost his life. Right. So they named the act after him. And I listened to the committee hearing, the criminal justice committee hearing in the Senate with the gentleman who proposed the bill. Listen to him, and yes, he admitted that this is a result of a case that came down where the jury had a hard time making the decision to give this individual the death penalty. Basically, they wanted him to die. Yeah, and I think that's sad. They even badmouth the jury, but we're supposed to be tried by a jury of our peers. Well, they didn't like what the jury had to say. Isn't that something? So they're gonna go back and change the law. Now that's a state law that they're trying to change, the state constitution, and they are within their right to do so, because they're the ones that make the laws. But they're supposed to be representing their constituents back home. Correct. And that's why I say constituent, hello, call them and tell them you said no. Exactly. Okay. And I think, and you know what else? I think that would be so freaking awesome. Well, Bishop and Kick-Ass. I'll tell y'all about what I think is so offline, because they're listening, right? Yeah, so I got an idea for that. For that, but I'm gonna let y'all know offline. All right. If there's nothing else, family, I want to say congratulations on being loyal supporters of Grandmaster Jay. In fact, for life, as the people in the chat say. Absolutely. And I wish you all much success in everything you put your hands to do. And may the Most High keep you and bless you. Love you all with the love of Yahuwah. And shalom, family. Shalom. Appreciate it.
Shalom. Thank you.